So again, if anybody hasn't gone and watched the TED Talk, please, I implore you to go and watch the TED Talk. I will put the link for the TED Talk in the show notes of this episode. One thing that, I mean, I've taken many quotes in my note taking. One of them was, you were saying that it's not possible to come up with laws for human behavior. It's not possible to come up with formulas for human behavior. However, what we can do is to understand the patterns of human behavior and the complexity of their interactions between one another. And I think I'm going to use that as the title of our conversation. And the reason why I'm going to use that as the title is something that I'm vastly interested in and have been for a little while is AI, is virtual reality, and is how I feel like less and less we are being what we would define as human maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, or even 100 years ago. And more we are becoming something that is as yet undefined, as yet not in the dictionary, as yet not accounted for. And my question, based on the quote that you've made, is, if it's not possible to come up with laws of behavior, why are we attempting it?
Well, there's a natural desire we all have to make the world simple, which is one of the reasons that a lot of people look to math as an explanation for behavior. And I'm all for mathematical sophistication, but any sophisticated mathematical thinker will tell you that math is an approximation of reality. And so we want that, we need that, because if the world is too complex, we don't know what to do. We become helpless. So the urge to simplicity is one that's natural and appropriate, but it goes too far. And we end up overriding the complexity that we know is there. And what history reminds us of, and I think what the hardest hurdle for artificial intelligence to teach a robot to do, is to be able to take account of the complexity in human behavior that we know is there, that is unpredictable. And another way of saying it, it's the unpredictable things that we can predict will be unpredictable. And that's where historical information helps us. Everyone uses this without realizing it. So we all have patterns we take for commuting to work or to our local pub or restaurant or whatever. And there's a way we like to go, and we notice certain signs and we decide to go a different route because it seems as if the route we normally go is too crowded, or there's an accident or something like that. That kind of adjustment, which of course our GPS doesn't do, is that we have to do. And we only learn that through being historically conscious of what we're doing. On our day-to-day basis, we tend to do that. When we make big decisions, we tend not to. And that's my point, that when we're thinking about this in terms of policy, when we're thinking about this in terms of big financial decisions, let's bring together those same questions and that same way of thinking about complexity to help improve our decision-making.